Hello everyone, Riaz here. Happy quarantine. In this video I'll show you how to replace your fuel pump for Honda Accord ranging from 1993 to 1997. This is not a traditional way to change your fuel pump. This is an easier way which you could do it in your own garage. Enjoy. So once you're done with your cut, this is what it should look like. And underneath those, that's where fuel filters are. Damn it, I just realized I need to make it cut a little bit bigger. So this is what the fuel pump looks like from a top view. It does go inside and it's about, let's say, about 8 to 10 inch long, but from the top this is what it looks like. And yeah, it is dirty. It is a 25 years old car, so I'll show you more once I take it off. Thanks. Also, something to remember: if you are not a professional mechanic, know what you're doing. And also, whenever you're taking off a part, make sure you should always take a picture of what it looked like previously before you take it off, because there might be a time where you need to refer back to this and you might forget, oh crap, where does this go, right? So make sure you take pictures before you take it off. So the first thing first, take off this rubber covering that was covering this unit right here. The second thing is you'll need to open this down here, and there's a little bolt that's holding the fuel pump right here. You have to open that one and unplug this unit right here with a clamp, which is, oops, which goes right here. That's it. Simple as that. FYI, this right here, this bolt that goes here, you'll need a 17mm socket wrench to open this. 17mm. Remember this number, 17. So once you loosen this up, a little bit of fuel will come out, so don't be paranoid or scared. One thing I do regret is that I do have a full tank of fuel, which is perhaps not a good idea, I guess, but oh well. So once you remove this bolt right here, you need to take this off using a clamp. Just have to push it back there. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but it's kind of dark in there, so use a clamp bend. Again, that's the thing I'm trying to push back. It's connected to the fuel line. Damn, these things are old as hell. I don't know how old these things are, but wow. Alright guys, I might need to use 2 hands. So finally, I was able to get that off. Here's how I did it. I used a clamp to hold down this right here, and then I used a flathead to push it to push that fuel line back that way. So I took it off. Okay, the third thing should be, there's a cable right here. The fuel line is attached to this thing right here. You need to just unattach it, so when you're pulling the fuel pump out, you don't strain that cable right here. Okay, remember, this cable comes off. This cable right here comes off from this attachment right there. Makes sense? And the fourth thing is, there's a very small bolt that you have to open right here. I don't know how small this is, probably 3 or 4mm. I'm not sure exactly. I have to use trial and error to find out. We'll be back. Alright, so the right size for this right here is number 10. So 10mm. Okay. 10mm goes here. This will help you open. Also guys, remember, wherever you open, do not lose your shit. So put it somewhere that you know you don't lose it, and make sure you take pictures as you go. Okay, once you remove all those, then you will remove each one of this individual bolt. They are 10mm each, so you'll need 10mm socket wrench to remove all this. So here it goes. You remove each one of these individual bolts. There are 6 of them. And please guys, please, when you do this, do not drop, I repeat, do not drop anything in there, because once it goes in there, chances are you will not be able to recover it. And I did drop one of these 10mm bolt in there, and chances are I will not find it. Or if I do, that'll be good luck for me. So once you have done that, this is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is kind of pull it out. Be careful not to damage any parts while you're pulling this out. Well, I guess I'll need to use 2 hands. Be right back. Congratulations, you have just removed the vehicle's fuel pump, which looks like this right here. And I suspect this pump is bad right here. Now it's a good thing to remove or replace the socket as well, but shit, these are fuel. It doesn't look bad to me, so I'm gonna just keep it. So there it goes. Also remember that your fuel tank, which is totally exposed, and you could see the fuel in there, the gas. So make sure to cover this up with something. So one, you do not want any dirt to get in there. Two, gas evaporates quick, so just cover it up. So on the other hand here, here's my newly bought fuel pump. It cost about, I think, $90 it was. So what do I have to do is take this out, disassemble this from this unit and put the new unit back. And this is the original Denso part. So there it goes. If you were to take this to a mechanic shop, they would have charged me a total of anywhere from, I think, $700, $500 to $700. So yep. So now here we have is the pump. Still quite a bit of work remains. One is to remove this. I have to take out the ground, remove the pump from this. First remove this connection right here. We'll need 2 hands to do this. So there's 3 pins that are holding it. You just have to press this thing right here and pull it up to remove this part. So I was able to finally take the fuel pump filter or sock out of this. So how did I do this? So once you take the fuel pump out, what you have to do is you have to pull this, literally pull this out of the position like this with the fuel filter on. So I just took it off, but so when you had the fuel sock on, you pull it toward you, take it out of the place, then this fuel filter or fuel pump filter is connected with a small ring. I think it's called a spring ring or something. You connect to which is this right here, which was right here. So what you're gonna have to do is take a small flathead, pull it out, take a small flathead, pull out the spring ring, and then you'll be able to pull out this fuel pump filter or sock out the way. Alright, so the next step, once you remove this, you would have to separate the fuel pump from this hose right here. It's a rubber hose. Just use a clamp and pull it out. Okay, so I have separated the older fuel pump. Now time to put the new one that I just bought. Put it in the fuel pump assembly. So remove these 2 plastic covering, and so the hose goes here, the electric connection goes here, and this is where the rubber kit goes here, and then the strainer or the fuel pump filter, which I bought, goes right here. Alright, let's get started. So make sure you put the rubber seal on top first, then through that put the strainer. Make sure it fits correctly, as you could see through this gap that it fits correctly, and then through this, I don't think the camera could capture this, but through that little hole you have to make sure you put the through this little hole you have to make sure you put the spring back on. Okay, I finally installed the new fuel pump itself with the same connections and everything. So right now it's time to put this back into the car. But before you do that, make sure you clean all this, please. Use like a brake cleaner and just dry it off. Just to clean this part, make sure the brake cleaner doesn't get into electric parts. So you could cover this up with something else. and just clean the top part with all this. Or actually, better off yet, you could use mass airflow sensor cleaner. As you could see on the old cars, you might have electric lines or electric components that are dirty, right? So please do make sure that you clean this electric component out using either a, I'm not sure exactly the name, but you can use a mass any kind of electric sensor cleaner would work. Like for example, in this case, mass airflow sensor cleaner should also work. These are good with any electric parts. So as you could see, I could clearly see there's a lot of gunk in there. Given it's a 25-year-old car, things do build up, and I'm just going to use like a brush or some kind of something to clean this up with. Hey guys, I am ready to put the fuel filter back on, or the fuel pump. So before that, there is something that you need to be careful of, which is be careful no dirt doesn't get in there. As you can see, there's plenty of dirt. I should have actually cleaned it up before I opened it up, but anyway. And another thing I would like you to be careful of is that there is like an orange color, I don't know if you can see it through here, but there is an orange color like a bucket of some sort in there. Make sure that the fuel filter, the strainer goes inside that bucket, not outside, inside that orange bucket. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So that orange color bucket, make sure this strainer part and this part goes inside that bucket. I repeat, these two parts should go inside that orange color bucket that is inside the fuel tank, which is right there. Make sense? So here's the fuel pump inside the tank, and before you put anything back, please do make sure you clean out things that needs to be cleaned out. For example, this electric connection right here, I can use a electric connector cleaner to clean that out, and just a few things here and there, and put everything back together just like the way it was. And remember, I told you that if you are new into this kind of work, make sure you take pictures as you go, so you know exactly what it looks like when you are working on a car, or at least what it used to look like, right? So you know how to put it back together. And I do have to say something about the cleaning part. If you don't know, please, first of all, please don't use like a common household cleaning item to clean like car parts or electric parts. You might as well just leave it dirty, because that's going to do more damage than good. And second, that there are a few disclaimers that needs to go. Don't, if you're not too comfortable, don't work on your newer cars. Let a professional handle that. And some other background information that you need to understand before you can start working on a car, at least. But I hope this video will get you going. Up next, you have to put this bolt back in. It's a 17mm, and make sure there's a washer that's underneath it, or right here as well. There's a washer right underneath the screw, and there's this metal part, and there's this washer right underneath that part as well. So there's a two washer, one here, and here. So make sure you have those two washers when you're putting back on. And after that, just put back this 5 screws right here, bolt, and then this one back here to hold this back together, and then put this one back in there. So guys, here it goes. This is how you change the fuel pump on a 94 Honda Accord, and it should be the same from any Honda model from I think 90 all the way to 96, or 91 all the way down to 96. So yep, it's driving perfectly fine now. it, or at least cut the tank using an electric cutter. If you smell fuel inside your car, or if your car inside your car smells like gasoline, there's a chance that your fuel pump might be leaking, or some component from the fuel pump is leaking, and you definitely don't want a fire spark around that area. So in that case, you should always use a mechanical cutter, like a teeth cutter, to cut through your tank. And once you're done cutting through your tank, you should always use a some kind of silicone to seal it back, and then put duct tape around it, so that way it is properly sealed. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope this video is able to save you some money instead of going to